Hey Palm Springs, my name's Scott Biegen. I'm the movie librarian at the Palm Springs Public Library, and today, in honor of PSPL's new Blu-ray collection and the Oscars, which are happening on April 25th, I'm going to run down my top 10 list of movies from the last year, and then some. Now, this last year, it was a difficult year to watch some movies, so they actually gave us a little bit extra time. So the eligibility period for the Oscars ran from January 2020 to the end of February 2021. So that's who's eligible for my top 10 list and for Oscars. So let's dive right in, get started, and I'll even show you how to watch all these films too. For number 10, let's break the rules a little bit and put two films in a tie for number 10. And both these films are actually Independent Spirit Award nominees. The first of our two films in number 10 is Driveways. Directed by Andrew Ahn, Driveways features a stand-up performance by the always wonderful Hong Chow. As a mother of young boys, she travels to her recently passed sister's home to get it ready for sale, and strikes up something of a friendship with the neighbor played by Brian Dennehy. First Cow, our second of the two films in number 10, is a film by perennial Independent Spirit Award nominee Kelly Reichardt, the director of such films as Wendy and Lucy, Certain Women, and Mixed Cutoff. The film focuses on the relationship between two men, a cook and a Chinese immigrant, played by John Magaro and Orion Lee, respectively, who collaborate on a baking business. Set in Oregon Territory in the late 1800s, First Cow is literally the first cow, and also where they steal the milk for their business. Both Driveways and First Cow are available to stream right now on Showtime and are available at the Palm Springs Public Library on Blu-ray and DVD. My choice for number 9 is the dark comedy I Care a Lot, starring Golden Globe winner for Best Actress Comedy, Rosamund Pike. In I Care a Lot, Rosamund Pike plays a professional legal guardian who, with her business partner and lover, played by Eiza Gonzalez, abuses the court system to take complete control of elderly wards. And then, well, they drain their savings. Unfortunately, someone who appeared to initially be a really great target, played by Dan Wiest, turns out to be a really poor decision on their part. You can catch I Care a Lot on Netflix right now. Our next film at number 8 is Regina King's directorial debut, One Night in Miami. Nominated for 3 Oscars this year, but it really should have been nominated for more. One Night in Miami is based on a fictional play about a real-life meeting of Malcolm X, played by Kingsley Ben-Adir, Muhammad Ali, played by Eli Gordy, Jim Brown, played by Aldous Hodge, and current Best Supporting Actor nominee Leslie Odom Jr. as Sam Cooke. If that doesn't hook you, get it? I don't know what will. You can catch it on Amazon Prime Video right now. Our number 7 film is Christopher Nolan's Tenet. Nominated for 2 technical Oscars and starring Robert Pattinson, John David Washington, Elizabeth Debicki, Michael Caine, and Kenneth Branagh, and honestly confusing many who dared to visit theaters this summer. To quote Pete Davidson, the too long didn't watch version of this is that they go back in time to save the future. If you loved Interstellar and Inception and how Christopher Nolan explores the concept of time, you'll love this. If not, maybe this isn't the film you're looking for. It will show up to stream on HBO Max on May 1st, and it's currently available on DVD and Blu-ray at the Palm Springs Public Library. Alright, Palm Springs, we're gonna go to number 6 now, and from here on out, they're all Best Picture nominees. What? 6 more to go? But there were 8 Best Picture nominees this year. Yeah, and 2 of them, they didn't make my top 10 list. I know, sadness, right? I'm sure they'll get over it. Our number 6 pick is Mank, directed by David Fincher and currently nominated for 10 Oscars. So with the leading 10 nominations, it's nominated for many of the big awards, like Best Picture, Best Director for David Fincher, Best Supporting Actress for Amanda Seyfried, and she's really the standout performance here, and Gary Oldman for Best Actor. Now, one of the awards it wasn't nominated for was Best Screenplay, and that's interesting because the film was about the creation and writing process for Citizen Kane. And if you haven't caught Citizen Kane recently, you should probably rewatch it, and you can pick that up on DVD and Blu-ray at the Palm Springs Public Library. Probably the most traditional Best Picture nominee of my top 6, Mank is currently available to stream on Netflix, and you can catch it in theaters. So now we're in the top 5, and my number 5 pick is Judas and the Black Messiah. Nominated for 6 Oscars and directed by Shaka King, Judas and the Black Messiah is a biographical drama about Fred Thompson, chairman of the Illinois Black Panther Party, played by Daniel Kaluuya, and an FBI informant, played by Lakeith Stanfield. Both Lakeith and Daniel are nominated for Best Supporting Actor this year. Judas and the Black Messiah is currently in theaters and is coming on Blu-ray and DVD to PSPL in May, and eventually it will show back up on HBO Max again. My number 4 pick is Nomadland. Nominated for 6 Oscars this year and starring previous 2-time Best Actress winner and current nominee Frances McDormand as a nomadic woman living in a van, this film is currently also the frontrunner for Best Picture and Best Director for Chloe Zhao. And Ms. Zhao is also nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay and Editing. Yes, you heard me correctly. She wrote, directed, and edited Nomadland. And that's not something that happens too often. If it also won Best Picture, Ms. Zhao and Ms. McDormand would also pick up Oscars, as they are producers of the film too. You can catch it now in theaters and on Hulu. My pick for number 3 is Darius Marder's Sound of Metal. Sound of Metal received 6 well-deserved Oscar nominations. It stars Best Actor nominee Riz Ahmed as a heavy metal drummer who's losing his hearing, and Best Supporting Actor nominee Paul Rassi. Olivia Cooke is also a standout, and most of the supporting cast are members of the deaf and hard of hearing community. While Chadwick Boseman is the frontrunner for Best Actor this year for his role in the Netflix film Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which also features Best Actress nominee Viola Davis, Riz Ahmed would be an excellent choice to win Best Actor as well. You can catch Sound of Metal on Amazon Prime. Alright, so we've made it all the way to number 2, and, well, because this is my list, I'm just going to throw out the number 2 and move us up to a tie for number 1. Why am I doing that? Well, if there's a split decision at the Oscars between Best Director going to one film and Best Picture going to another, I really do think Chloe Zhao is a lock for Best Director. But it's kind of common for sometimes them to give the Best Picture to someone else. And if they're going to do that, it's probably going to be one of these 2 really excellent, well-made films. So in alphabetical order, and tied for my number 1, are Minari and Promising Young Woman. Nominated for 6 Oscars and directed by Best Director and Screenplay nominee Lee Isaac Chung, Minari would be a stellar choice for Best Picture, featuring nominated performances by Steven Yeun and Korean film legend and supporting actress frontrunner Yoo Jun-yoon. The film is about a Korean immigrant family starting a farm to grow Korean vegetables such as Minari in 1980s Arkansas. Like the Minari that takes root and eventually thrives after hardships, so will this family. If Minari wins Best Picture, it will follow in the footsteps of Parasite, also a Korean language film. But unlike Parasite, Minari is not eligible for Best International Film because it is an American film, and it is a very, very American story. You can catch Minari in theaters and on video on demand right now. Our other film at number 1, and a great choice for Best Picture, is Emerald Fennell's Promising Young Woman. Nominated for 5 Oscars, including Best Director and Best Original Screenplay for Ms. Fennell, Promising Young Woman stars Best Actress frontrunner Carey Mulligan as, I don't know how else to explain this, an angel of vengeance against those who enabled, witnessed, and participated in the sexual assault of her best friend and fellow med school classmate. Powerful and stylistically stunning, and featuring supporting performances by Laverne Cox and Bo Burnham. If Emerald wins Best Original Screenplay, and Nomadland's Chloe Zhao wins for Best Adapted Screenplay, as they're expected to do, it'd be the first time women have won both screenplay awards since 2004. Promising Young Woman is also the only film besides Nomadland to be nominated for Best Picture, Director, Screenplay, and Editing, which is commonly seen as a precursor to winning Best Picture. You can catch Promising Young Woman in theaters and on Blu-ray and DVD at the Palm Springs Public Library. So here's a recap of the top 5. You can pause to get a better look. I've included how to watch the film, and all of the top 5 are in theaters somewhere now. I won't continue to note video on demand, which you have to pay for, since most films are available that way. And Netflix and Amazon films are typically only available on those services, although they may become available on Blu-ray and DVD later on. I couldn't include everything in my top 10, and that includes all of these Oscar-nominated films, The Trials of Chicago 7, which barely missed out in my top 10, and The Father were both nominated for Best Picture and each received 6 nominations. Best Actress nominee Vanessa Kirby, Best Actor nominee Anthony Hopkins, and Best Supporting Actress nominees Glenn Close and Olivia Colman were all wonderful in their films. Emma received nominations for Makeup and Costume, and The White Tiger, which also barely missed out in my top 10, was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. A lot of films get nominated, and all the films that you see here were nominated too, except The Mauritanian, which failed to get a Supporting Actress nomination for Jodie Foster, even though she won the same award at the Golden Globes. She didn't get nominated, the film didn't get nominated, but of course is still worth watching. As are the Best International Film nominees. Another Round, by the way, was also nominated for Best Director for Thomas Vinterberg. Here are the nominees for Best Documentary Long Form. Collective was also nominated for Best International Film. My favorite documentary of last year, Boys State, actually didn't get nominated, but you can catch it on Apple TV+, and these other documentaries are pretty good too. I would hope one would realize that the films I've been talking about aren't exactly family-oriented, but here are some that are, the Best Animated Feature nominees. There were a lot of great films written and directed by women this year. All of these certainly would have filled in an expanded list. Sofia Coppola's On the Rocks is awesome. Bill Murray, Rashida Jones, just great. And The Lodge is a really good horror film. There were a lot of really great LGBTQ plus films too. Great performances by Kate Winslet and Saoirse Ronan in Ammonite, Henry Golding in Monsoon, and of course Viola Davis and Andra Day, who are both Best Actress nominees in their films. Elizabeth Moss in Shirley is one of my favorites. She certainly goals as a snarky, boozy Shirley Jackson. Comedies are often overlooked at the Oscars, and The King of Staten Island and Palm Springs certainly were. Palm Springs, by the way, not actually filmed around here. The Dig is another great turn by Carey Mulligan. Invisible Man and Spree, if you're looking for horror, those are pretty good films too. And The Horror, Meryl Streep was not nominated this year. But you know what? She was good in Let Them All Talk, and she was good in The Prom too. Alright, Palm Springs, that's a wrap. I hope sometime in the future we'll see you back at the library again.